Okay, moving on to our fake news update for the day, because you've probably heard some of these stories, and even the best conservatives out there probably, and by best, I mean people who are loyal to the cause, you might have believed some of these stories. It's not your fault. So let's go to story number one. New York Post, the great Mark Hemingway, who I like a lot. I'll have his article up in the show notes today. There's a lot of good stuff in the show notes about fake news. Bongino.com, or if you want me to email you these articles, Bongino.com/newsletter. Sign up. I'll send these articles right to you. New York Post, Mark Hemingway, even during the coronavirus crisis, the liberal media cannot resist spreading lies. Of course not. We're acting like they have any dignity. Like, this is the least surprising headline of the day, and Mark knows that. He's being silly because he understands that that's what the media does. They spread disinformation because that's what they love to do. So from the New York Post piece, CNN's at it again. CNN, supposedly a legitimate news network to really dumb people. On the heels of the president's announcement of a sweeping travel ban from other countries and a declaration of emergency, a Sunday CNN chyron, that's that lower third of the screen they run on news channels, read, "Trump on coronavirus, from hoax to national emergency." Here we go, Joe.
Yep.
Here we go again. Trump supposedly called it a hoax, totally debunked, even by left-leaning outlets and Facebook. He never called the coronavirus a hoax. Hemingway goes on. The trouble is that Trump never called the coronavirus a hoax. This is an inaccurate and misleading distortion of what he has said, created and propagated by a major media outlet, CNN, and CNN won't stop repeating it. Why? I mean, why would they? I mean, no one takes them seriously. Why would they stop repeating it? Brian Stelter works there. How do you take them seriously? The dumbest guy in media. Always. Remember our chart.
Yeah.
Number one, number two, Chuck Todd. Always creeping on that number one position. Acosta, maybe number three. The bronze is always up for, debate. They're like, there's that race. One, Stelter always finishes ahead. Chuck Todd right behind him. Third, you never know. It gets bunched up back there. Joy Reid, Jim Acosta, and others, it's tough. That's why I'm always hesitant to award the number three position. Stelter is always the dumbest guy in media. CNN hires him. They're not a serious news outlet. Even Sunday, after this Trump called coronavirus a hoax, has been thoroughly discredited 6 different ways from Sunday and debunked by every serious person. They still run it because it's not a serious news outlet. Doesn't end there. Washington Examiner by Beckett Adams. NBC News is actually printing op-eds based on full Chinese propaganda now. Again, up in the show notes today. NBC News spreads Chinese communist propaganda amid coronavirus outbreak. Not kidding, folks. Not a joke. From Beckett Adams' piece, NBC News published an op-ed, an opinion piece this weekend, titled, folks, please, hold your laughter through this stupidity, titled, "Coronavirus in China Kept Me Under Quarantine. I felt safer there than back in the United States." Wow, is this person a moron? Yeah, it gets better. The op-ed was written by a music professor, an American music professor, who was in China on a sabbatical. He's not a healthcare professional. He's not a crisis management expert. He's not even a government worker. He's just a guy who saw what the Chinese government allowed him to see as a tourist in China. I'm sure the Chinese were showing him the worst of the situation, Joe, right?
Right.
Hey, look what we got here. These people are all cured. They look dead. Are they dead? No, they're not dead.
Sleeping.
They're just a little white, but they're cured, I promise you. Put the mirror under there. No, not breathing. They're A-okay, dude. And the guy writes an op-ed, and NBC News publishes the Chinese propaganda.
Oh, dude.
Listen, my deep sympathies, we have to do this, but this show is committed to getting you the truth in a time of crisis. I'm sorry if you believe, most of you didn't believe any of this, but some people don't have the time to debunk this. Trump called corona hoax, fake. I felt safer in China, totally fake news. Here's a clip by Tucker Carlson last night, well said, who is not falling prey to this Chinese propaganda at all. This is a virus that originated in China. It is a Chinese coronavirus. That is what it is. I'm not going to be subjected to any pressure by any foreign government to alter my show content. If it originated in somewhere in Florida, they can call it the South Florida virus. It didn't. It originated in China, like West Nile, near West Nile, Ebola near the Ebola River, Ebola Zaire near the Zaire portion of the Ebola River. That's how we name a lot of these things. Here's Tucker Carlson saying, nah, not on my show. Check this out.
The coronavirus is a Chinese virus, no matter what they're telling you. It originated in China, was able to spread to the rest of the world because the Chinese government hid the truth of what was happening early in the outbreak from the rest of the world. They lied about it, and that caused the terrible consequences we're watching now. If the coronavirus causes a global recession, you can blame China for that. Again, they'll tell you on CNN that's not true. You know perfectly well it is true, and so do they. Now the government of China is promoting conspiracy theories, spreading on social media the lie that the virus originated in here, in America. And state propaganda in China is musing about cutting off drug exports to this country and killing Americans. That's not the behavior of a friendly nation. It's the behavior of a dangerous adversary. So is Congress ready to treat China like what it is?
Yep. That's right. You want to be a sucker? The liberals listen to the show and you want to promote, can't call it the Wuhan virus, that's racist. You go right ahead and be a sucker. I'm not. Moving on. More fake news. You may have heard the story this weekend. Folks, this is all in the past few days, showing you again why the fake news is the fake news. You may have heard the story propagated by the leftist media that Trump, the dastardly President Trump, Joe, he found a vaccine and he wanted to buy it only for the United States and no one else in the world. He wanted them all to die. Just us. Headline, Breitbart. Reuters stealth edits the debunked story claiming Trump sought a monopoly on COVID-19 vaccine. Did you see the story this weekend? Reuters, that Trump wants a monopoly. He told this company, only sell it to us. Did you notice they stealth edited the story? Oh, let me show you what happened. First, some entrepreneurial news outlets that actually do news, unlike fake news Reuters, actually called up this company that put out this tweet. The company that allegedly was called about a monopoly, only sell it to us. At CureVac AG. To make it clear again on Corona, CureVac has not received from the U.S. government or related entities an offer before, during, and since the task force meeting in the White House on March 2nd. CureVac rejects all allegations from the press. Again, more obvious fake news.
Yeah.
Which, now, hold on. This is, Joe, that's not the worst part about this thing. We're used to the fake news. Remember the Bongino rule? If there was ever a time for the Bongino rule, 24 to 72 hours, let a story fester before you tweet it because it will almost always be debunked if it reflects poorly on Trump. Almost always. Not all the time, but almost always. If you followed the Bongino rule, you didn't fall prey to this one. So Gerald Beyer, I think he's from the Wall Street Journal, I'm not sure, but he put out a tweet pointing out that Reuters stealth edit. You know what stealth edits are? When you edit an article, but you don't put an editor's note. Like, hey, we changed this. You usually do it because you found egg on your face. Check out this tweet from Gerald Beyer. Hey, that article was changed by Reuters, but without any kind of editor's note. Notice what they took out. Quote, contacted by Reuters, a spokeswoman for the German health ministry said, we confirm the report in Welt am Sonntag. Wow, they deleted that? Why'd you delete it and not let anybody know? Did you just make that up, Reuters? That quote? Obviously, the story wasn't confirmed.
Kind of weird.
Weird.
Yeah.
Weird.
It is, Dan.
Fake news all over. Don't call us fake news. You are fake news.
You just heard The Dan Bongino Show. You can also get Dan's podcasts on iTunes or SoundCloud. And follow Dan on Twitter 24/7 at DBongino.